Hey everybody, this is Stuart with Wine on the Dime, and today I'm back here at Kuhlman Cellars. I was here a few years ago when I reviewed their Alluve, and it was fantastic, and I figured it's finally nice here in Texas, so might as well get my butt outside and do some more wine reviews at wineries. So today I'm going to be reviewing two of their wines, one of which is a very special wine. So make sure you stay tuned for the review of the 2017 Gypsum and the 2017 Ignis. Hey everybody, so like I said, I'm back here at Kuhlman Cellars, and I hope you got a chance to look at all the beautiful scenery around here. And I can tell you right here, the wine pretty much matches the scenery, so you're not going to be disappointed if you drop by. But like I said, there were two wines I was very interested in trying, and I want to make sure that I get to them today. So the first is the 2017 Gypsum Red Blend from the Texas High Plains. It is 13.8% alcohol by volume. It is $24 a bottle. And this one it's a heck of a blend, so hold on, I'm gonna actually have to read it off the label, it's too much to memorize for me. It's 35% Grenache, 25% Tempranillo, 24% Merlot, 12% Mourvedre, 4% Carignan. Yeah, I can't even remember my last name half the time. There's no way I'm remembering all that in the blend, but I bet it's gonna be fantastic. So in terms of the color, I'm gonna give you a light ruby going close to turning on garnet. Yeah, light ruby, no artifacts, no cloudiness. All right, so on the nose, oh man, this smells good. You kind of have this like sour cherry thing going on with a little bit of raspberry. There's a slight bit of, barnyard. And one of the things I've noticed, especially with wines coming from the Texas High Plains, is that's not an uncommon thing to have. Oh man, it smells really good though. So you get this kind of sour red cherry. You get some raspberry. There's a little bit of, oh, what is that? It's not a little bit, there's a good amount of spice on this wine. It's kind of like a clove and a cinnamon, but it's not overdone. It doesn't feel like it's gonna be heavy-handed. The alcohol is noticeable on the nose, but it's not too powerful. It's not burning my nose or anything like that. There's a little bit of like a leather, just a little bit of leather, and just, I mean, this really nice earthiness to it. I mean, it's kind of got almost like a little bit of a wet soil effect going on with it. But with all those notes, how does it taste? It tastes really good. So it's very juicy. It's a very, even though it has some of that secondary, it's starting to develop some of those tertiary notes. It actually has a very high amount of primary fruit still. They're not raisinning yet. They're still very much solid primary fruit representations. The interesting thing about this is that the acid is so high, it pulls that fruit up. I would say it's medium plus acid, but it has a light body, so it's gonna really lift everything up because it's not trying to compete against the other factors within the body. Tannins, light tannins, slightly scratchy. The finish on the wine, say it's medium minus finish, almost a medium. On top of all that, as I'm moving this around and letting it open up, that barnyard's still noticeable on the nose. You don't get any of it on the palate. However, I am getting a cinnamon now, and it is adding to the complexity, which is nice. I'm getting more of those barrel notes. So with all of that being said, I am kind of a fan of the wine, but how much of a fan of the wine am I? Well, let's get to the blick. So from a balance standpoint, I think you're in balance. There's a lot of nice acid and primary fruit, and the body's not too heavy, and especially matching with this weather, it's perfect. Now, is this you're gonna be your hardcore steak wine? Oh, hell no. But if you're gonna be doing something like having, I don't know, just sitting outside on a porch wanting to enjoy a glass of nice light red wine, then this is probably one that's gonna work out for you. So yeah, balance is good. Length, I'm gonna give you medium minus, so no points there. Intensity, medium plus on both, so half. And then complexity, I'm getting primary, secondary, and I'm getting some of that tertiary starting to develop. So there is a little bit of an earthiness, a little bit of a leather on the palate. It's not too much. As it continues to age, it'll only get better. So I'm gonna go ahead and still give you a full point because I'm getting all three characteristics. Ultimately, I'm gonna give you good. I do really like this wine. However, I wanna see what it's like as it continues to age. As it continues to age and develop a little bit more of that tertiary and that earthiness, then I think this is gonna be a really cool wine. And this would be, oh, by the way, they're winemaker's fringe. This has a lot of potential. So if you're buying the Gypsum, you're not gonna be disappointed. Now, let's go ahead and move on to the Ignis. This is the 2017 Ignis. It's 45% Tempranillo, 43% Cabernet Sauvignon, 10% Malbec. It is 15.5% alcohol by volume, and this is a splurge alert. It's $62. However, there is a reason for the splurge alert. This is one of their signature wines. It was made in 2017. They did not find grapes that they felt were high enough quality for 2018, 2019, or 2020 for this specific blend that they're trying to make. Let's kind of evaluate this wine to see why it's so special. So from a color standpoint, yeah, you're definitively ruby. I would still say you're probably medium ruby. Your artifacts, no cloudiness. On the nose, oh man, this smells good. So there's a lot of really bright red fruit. You're getting bright red cherry. You're getting a little bit of raspberry. There's a little bit of like a red plum effect going on with it. I will say, it is 15.5% ABV. It doesn't smell like it's as strong as the Gypsum. It smells like the alcohol is a little bit more subdued. Or at least on the nose. On the palate, it could scream. We don't know until we taste it. Kuhlman's winemaker really likes to use French oak, so having those baking spices is not much of a surprise. They're not very strong. They don't use a heavy char on them. And so that's nice. There's also a smokiness to it. And the funny thing about this is this wine is named after the fire rock at Newsom Vineyards. So the fact that I'm kind of picking up like a little bit of like a fireplace soot on it is interesting because it kind of plays off the Ignis name in a way. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it's just kind of a the more you know type of moment there for you. I'm interesting with this is I'm getting a little bit of like a dry hay and a very strong minerality to it. Like kind of like those stones over behind me. Like if I picked up like a river stone and licked it, it wouldn't be like picking up a wet river stone though, because then it has kind of like this mossiness that you would also kind of associate with it. I would say this would just be a bone dry rock that you pick up and lick from people do it, trust me. All right, so with all that being said, how does it taste? Okay, so night and day difference on these wines. This wine, say, it has medium to almost medium plus body. Alcohol tastes medium. Oh wait, no. It's kicking up on the finish. This is a high alcohol wine. However though, the big difference here are the tannins. So this has a higher tannic structure to it than this one. However though, these tannins are smooth as silk. These are really nice. There's still a little bit there in terms of that scratchiness, but it's so fine compared to this. There's really a big difference in this wine. Also the flavor difference, so much more mature or ripe red fruit in this wine compared to more of the sour fruit that you're getting in this. And then on top of that, that minerality really kicks in, that smokiness that's just there. It's very nice. This is a wine that you could probably do more along the lines with some of your meat, but I would still not do it with like a really heavy red meat. This would be more of like your beef tenderloin or pork or things like that. They're a little bit leaner. It still has a great amount of acid. However though, I'd be afraid that having such a heavy piece of meat might overpower the meal on this. So what I would do is pair this with more of your lighter meat notes, but Or you could pair it with a porch, because this is also a great wine to enjoy just hanging around. This wine is very nice. Let's take another sip and we'll get to the blick. All right, in terms of balance, you're in balance. I really like this wine. Everything about it. The softness of the tannins, the body, the acid, the fruit, the alcohol, everything plays really well together. I was actually a little bit worried when I saw the ABV and I had tried this wine, the Gypsum. I was worried that if they were around the same type of body weight, then this might be out of balance, but it's not. There's a little bit more heft here and it carries that alcohol perfectly, so full point there. Length, I'm getting a medium plus finish, so half a point. Intensity, I'm getting on the nose, a medium plus intensity on the nose, but it's pronounced on the palate. It kicks you in the palate really hard, but it's not in a bad way because it's an enjoyable wine to drink, so full point there. And in terms of complexity, I'm getting primary notes, really nice primary notes, secondary notes, not too heavy, and some developing tertiary as well, so I'm gonna give you a full point. Ultimately, that gives you 3.5 points, gonna give you very good. If this wine's finish continues to improve over time, this is going to be a great wine. The only way you're gonna know is if you come here and you buy a couple bottles and you let them age and you try them out. So you just might have to make the trip, because I'm not gonna lie, this wine has a really good aging potential, and I'm excited to where it's gonna be in the next few years. Anyway, this has been Stuart with Wine on the Dime. If you liked today's video, please like, subscribe, and comment. Have you been to Kuhlman Cellars? Have you tried their Gypsum or their Ignis? I'd be interested to know if you have. Leave a comment below, and I'll see you all again soon with another episode from Wine on the Dime. In the meantime, I'm gonna go hang out on the porch for a little bit longer, enjoy some of these wines, and I'll see you later.